Do you like to read the news?
Yes, I enjoy staying informed about current events. Reading the news helps me understand the world around me and form my own opinions. I usually read news articles online or through news apps. While I prefer credible news sources, I also enjoy browsing social media for a more casual and often humorous take on current events.
Where do you usually get your news from?
I primarily rely on online news sources and social media to stay updated on current events. I follow reputable news websites, YouTube channels, and subscribe to newsletters from reliable news organizations. Additionally, I follow news accounts on platforms like Twitter and LinkedIn, which provide concise news updates and diverse perspectives. However, I'm cautious about the information I consume on social media and verify news from multiple sources.
Do you like surprises?
I have mixed feelings about surprises. While I enjoy pleasant surprises, such as unexpected gifts or thoughtful gestures, I prefer to be informed about significant changes or events in advance. Unexpected surprises can sometimes be stressful, especially if they involve significant changes or challenges. However, a well-planned surprise can be a delightful experience, creating lasting memories.
Do you like to surprise other people?
Yes, I enjoy surprising others. It's a fun way to show someone you care and to bring a smile to their face. Whether it's a small gesture like a surprise gift or a larger surprise like a surprise party, I find it rewarding to see the joy and excitement in others' reactions. However, it's important to ensure that surprises are positive and well-intentioned, avoiding any that may cause stress or disappointment.
How do you like to share information?
I primarily share information through written text, such as articles, essays, and creative writing. I also enjoy sharing information through visual aids like presentations and infographics. Additionally, I sometimes share information through verbal communication, such as lectures or discussions. The method I choose depends on the complexity of the information, the target audience, and the desired outcome. One of the most memorable pieces of good news I received was when I got accepted into my desired college after completing my secondary education. I had been eagerly waiting for several weeks after applying, and the uncertainty during that time was both exciting and stressful. The news came to me on a bright, sunny morning when I checked my email, and I saw the official acceptance letter from the college. I had been anxiously waiting for this moment, as I had worked really hard to ensure I met all the requirements, and it felt like a huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders when I saw the acceptance. The news arrived during the summer, just after my secondary education had ended. I was in a kind of limbo, eagerly waiting to know what the next chapter of my life would look like. My family had been very supportive throughout the entire process, but I could tell they, too, were growing anxious. It was my mother who gave me the news in person, after she had already seen the email and rushed to share it with me. Her face was filled with joy, and she was so proud of the effort I had put in. When I first heard the news, I felt a mixture of emotions, relief, happiness, and excitement. The whole journey to reach this point had been filled with a lot of uncertainty and hard work. After years of studying and trying to get into the right college, I felt like all my efforts had finally paid off. The realization that I had been accepted into a reputable institution was a major accomplishment for me. I felt deeply proud of myself, knowing that I had opened a door to new opportunities for my future. Most of all, I felt grateful to my family and friends, who have been incredibly supportive throughout this process.
Are surprises always positive experiences?
Surprises can be both positive and negative experiences, depending on the context and the individual's perspective. A positive surprise often leads to feelings of joy, excitement, and gratitude. For example, receiving unexpected good news, like a promotion or an invitation to an event, can bring immense happiness and a sense of accomplishment. These kinds of surprises can uplift our mood and make us feel appreciated. On the other hand, some surprises can be unsettling or stressful. For instance, sudden changes in personal or professional life, such as an unexpected bill or a sudden illness, can cause anxiety and discomfort. However, even negative surprises can sometimes lead to personal growth or valuable life lessons. It's all about how we handle them and what we take away from the experience. Ultimately, while surprises are unpredictable, they tend to be more positive when they bring about personal satisfaction, emotional fulfillment, or new opportunities. It's the way we respond to surprises that determines whether they will be enjoyable or challenging experiences.
What are some negative aspects of surprises?
While surprises can often be enjoyable, there are several negative aspects that can make them difficult to handle. One major issue is the feeling of uncertainty or anxiety that unexpected events can create. For instance, an unanticipated change in a person's work situation or a sudden health problem can cause stress and worry. These types of surprises may disrupt daily routines and force individuals to adjust quickly, which can feel overwhelming, especially if they are not prepared for such changes. Another negative aspect is the emotional impact of receiving unpleasant news. A surprise that brings bad news, such as a sudden loss or an unexpected financial burden, can leave someone feeling vulnerable or discouraged. Additionally, surprises can sometimes strain relationships. If someone receives an unexpected gift or gesture that they feel unprepared for or don't know how to respond to, it can lead to awkwardness or discomfort. Overall, while surprises can be pleasant, their unpredictability sometimes makes them challenging to navigate, especially when they bring unwanted changes or difficult emotions.
How can we make surprises more meaningful?
To make surprises more meaningful, it's important to consider the recipient's preferences, needs, and emotions. A meaningful surprise is one that shows thoughtfulness and understanding, rather than being purely spontaneous or random. For example, instead of just surprising someone with a generic gift, focusing on something personal or tailored to their interests can make the surprise feel more special. Taking the time to understand what would genuinely make the person happy or improve their situation can lead to a much more impactful experience. Another way to make surprises more meaningful is by timing them thoughtfully. For instance, surprising someone during a difficult time, like after they've had a challenging day or are going through a tough period, can have a much greater emotional impact. This could be something as simple as offering a comforting gesture or a kind word. Lastly, the element of surprise doesn't always have to be grand or material. Small, unexpected acts of kindness, like an unexpected note or an invitation to spend time together, can carry a lot of emotional weight, strengthening relationships and creating lasting memories.
Do you think surprises are becoming less common in the modern world?
In many ways, surprises seem to be becoming less common in the modern world, primarily due to the increasing amount of information we have access to and the fast pace of life. With the rise of technology, social media, and instant communication, people are often aware of what's going to happen before it actually does. For example, it's common to see hints of surprises, like surprise parties or special announcements, leaked online, reducing the element of genuine surprise. Additionally, with the constant flow of notifications and updates, it can be harder to create moments that truly catch people off guard. Moreover, modern life tends to be more structured and predictable. People's schedules are more rigid, and we often plan everything in advance, leaving less room for spontaneity. However, while surprises may seem less common, they are not entirely gone. They've simply become more personalized and thoughtful, often taking the form of smaller, more meaningful gestures that might not have the same immediate shock value but still create memorable experiences. In a world where expectations are high, a well-timed surprise can still stand out and be appreciated.
How can we balance the element of surprise with the need for planning?
Balancing the element of surprise with the need for planning can be tricky, but it's definitely possible with careful thought and consideration. The key is to plan the structure of the event or gesture in a way that leaves room for spontaneity, while still ensuring that everything runs smoothly. For example, when planning a surprise party, the logistics, such as the location, guest list, and timing, can be carefully organized, but the actual surprise element can come from the unexpected nature of the celebration or a special guest appearing. One way to strike this balance is by focusing on what aspects of the event or gesture can be planned and which can remain unexpected. For instance, in organizing a gift for someone, you can plan the timing of when it's presented, but make the choice of gift a surprise by selecting something that aligns with their interests but isn't immediately obvious to them. Similarly, with social gatherings, keeping details like the specific agenda or activities a surprise can add excitement, while ensuring that the event runs smoothly with a solid plan behind it. Ultimately, it's about creating a situation where the surprise doesn't feel rushed or forced, but is instead a delightful twist on what was already planned. Careful attention to both the anticipated and unexpected elements can make for a truly memorable experience that feels both well thought out and pleasantly surprising.